Ladies and gentlemen, man, it's time to go around the water cooler, man. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Alex Golesh and how he is cooking in the kitchen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Also, man, we're going to talk about, is Auburn on the pace for a quarterback resurrection? Then we're going to talk about some SEC coaches, and then we'll talk a little bit of Big Ten versus SEC. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to go around the water cooler. Let's go.
Yeah. Water cooler talk sports. Around the cooler. Saturday nights. Yeah, you know the deal. SEC pride. Yeah, we keep it real. From the plains to the grove, everybody knows it's around the cooler. We talk that score. Talk that score. Water cooler talk sports network. Every headline, every story. Around the cooler where the fans all meet. We talk that score. This is around the cooler. Only on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network.
This is a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.
Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler. My name is Nick Frazier. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us, man. Tonight, with me around the water cooler, it is the man, the myth, the legend from Auburn at the CV. It is DC Wolf. What's up, DC? How you feeling, man? Oh, is DC muted? Oh my God. Oh my God. DC's muted. DC's muted.
Yeah, I'm doing a Tez today, man. Just trying to do my good Tez impression coming in muted. What's up, everybody, man? Shouts out to the mayor, man. Shouts out to the mayor. You know what it is. Shouts out to Javale. You know what it is, man. Good to be Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Let's do it. And since I'm in the chair of the mayor, let's go. Let's get it, baby.
There it is. There it is. Also around the water cooler with us, ladies and gentlemen, it is the man, the legend himself, Bubba, from Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk. What's up, Bubba? How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, ready for some elite conversations.
Elite conversation.
Elite
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
before we get to it, y'all already know
Yeah.
what we got to do, man. Shout out to all the people that rock with us, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to that Tez at SEC season. I got Tight Sports, Alabama Football Megacast. DC Wolf over at Auburn _ at CV. Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Vanny Chris over at the Golden Broom Podcast and the Anchor Down Loud Podcast on Facebook. Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk. I got Kid Country as well. And of course, at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter. Also, man, make sure you go and follow us and subscribe to us here on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, but also go follow us on at CoolersPod23 on Twitter, also at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, and then of course the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook. Also, man, visit www.watercoolertalksports.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, fellas, man. Like I said, man, this is gonna be a great show tonight, man. Alex Golesh is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. He cooking in this thing. That's what he doing. But before we get to that, man, shout out to everybody rocking with us in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Auburn Dad for life in the chat. What's up, Auburn Dad, man? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, my guy. Hope all is well with you, man. Shout out to Auburn Dad. Auburn Express is in the chat. What's up, man? How you feeling? How you feeling? Vernon Speaks is in the chat. What up, Vernon, man? How you feeling, man? Hope you good. There he is. There he is. There he is. Mike McKinney. What up, Mike McKinney? How you feeling, man? I like it. I like it. Cam, what up, Cam? Been a minute, my guy. Shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you so much for rocking with us, man. Black Magic Racing in the chat. Rodney Williamson, what's up, my guy? How you feeling? Wardam Sean, what's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Hope you feeling good. Chris Law is in the chat as well. What's up, my guy? Chris Law, man. Feeling good, feeling great. D-Lev is rocking with us as well. What's up, D-Lev, man? Hope you're feeling good, D-Lev.
Yeah, yes,
I like
sir.
it. I like it, man. I like it, man. And of course, His Royal Highness King Richard is rocking with us in the chat. What's up, my guy? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Fella, let's go ahead and let's get into this conversation, man. Alex Golesh is in the kitchen, whipping it up. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Man, I'm telling you, man, he is doing great. Calvin Peterson, what's up, my guy? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, man. Hope all is good with you. Let's take a look at this recruiting class that Auburn has so far right now, man. You look. Let's just look at this. Look at this. Look at
Look
what
at
we
this.
have so far, man. It is shaping up great. We looked at this Monday a little bit, and we asked ourselves the question. We was like, man, this recruiting class has gotten a lot further from where it was 5-6 weeks ago. What this recruiting class looked like 5-6 weeks ago is different from what it looks like now. And they have been putting in work, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see on the screen, you have commitments from Gary Chapman, your quarterback, Marshawn Johnson Cook, your running back, Kareem Parker, linebacker, Donovan Moore, defensive lineman, Nash Johnson III, cornerback. You even got Noah Ash, the kicker. But ladies and gentlemen, just recently, we got 2 commits, one from a 4-star elite talent. Elite talent, 4-star player from in-state from Viger High School, Isaac McNeil, 92 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 9 sacks last year for Viger in his junior year. And then, of course, Aiden Wiggins at the cornerback position. Ladies and gentlemen, his stats right there, 25 tackles, 5 pass breakups, runs a 4.45, ladies and gentlemen, and he's one of those tall cornerbacks that it looks like Coach DVD is looking to bring into this room and transfer this room, and he has speed as well. Ladies and gentlemen, man, this coaching staff has been putting in work, is what they've been putting in. And the question I want to pose to you all is, has Alex Golesh made people a believer yet? DC, what you think?
On this recruiting trail, man, I got to go and tip my hat to the man. You know what I'm saying? When they started in the transfer portal, I was a little skeptical, I ain't gonna lie. But now, man, seeing that he's getting elite players, man, on all levels at every position, and they say he's trending for the #1 quarterback in the 2027 class, man, seeing that what he's doing with these elite players, man, after the debacle the last 5 years, man, this dude is still recruiting on an elite level. That tells you something when you can come in a wreck, man, and still recruit on an elite level. That's awesome. So yeah, man, I got to tip my hat to the man. I'm sorry, Alex.
So he's made a believer out of you.
Yes, man. Yes. Yeah, man. Look at the wreckage he came into. Look at the wreckage he's coming to, man. And then he's coming to that without at Auburn. You know what I'm saying? At Auburn. He doesn't have proof of concept yet of what Auburn football is going to look like. None of us will know until the fall. But man, him doing this off of the wreckage of what's been happening at Auburn, man, not just winning 5-6 games a year and then recruiting elite players like this. Yes, man, he's made me a believer, man. Shouts out to Alex Golesh, man.
Bubba, your thoughts on this, man? Alex Golesh has pulled in one of the elite talents, in-state talents, and Isaac McNeil from Viger High School in Pritchard, Alabama. Everybody keeps saying Mobile, but Viger and Pritchard, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba, has Alex Golesh made a believer out of you? Is he fundamentally changing people's minds about what he can do on the plains at Auburn?
Well, I believe when I realized this is a guy that's going to bring in a great off-the-field staff, scouting department. He obviously brought in Warsaw and Fagan and that whole staff, but he's done a really good job. He obviously has to finish out this class really well, but the most impressive thing is, yes, he's getting the top-end talents like Johnson Cook and Von Brandt and McNeil and Donovan Moore, who I think is the best player in the class, but I think he's hit on a lot of evals. Both corners, I like a lot. They're high floor guys. Maybe the ceiling's not crazy, but they're both really high floor guys. Gary Chapman, I'm a big believer. Jalen Moore, I'm a big believer. Odor, I'm a big fan of. So, I really like the process of they're going in there getting a mix of developmental athletes and high floor guys that can contribute early. But he has to finish it out, and he's got to lock these commitments up.
So what does he need to do, in your opinion, to finish it out? What is 1 or 2 things that he has to do in this class to basically be like, this is a class that potentially can be something that can be built on for the next 2-3 years, that you see that these guys, because I think a lot of people feel like with what you said with the staff that he's brought in, a lot of people feel as if he has the ability to come in and help develop these guys. What is the 1 or 2 things that you want to see him do in this class to put a cherry on top of it?
5 more quality guys, preferably a couple more O linemen, interior D linemen. But as far as locking them up, you just can't lose them. You can't lose them in season with a lack of proof of concept on the field. And you also got to match money when you need to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
But here's the thing, though. Let me ask you this question. Isaac McNeil was a guy that everybody wanted, right? Four-star guy in state from Viger here in Pritchard, Alabama. He is a guy that a lot of schools wanted. By the way, Georgia, Alabama were fighting for this guy. If you watch the commitment, he faked out Alabama and put on the Auburn hat, ladies and gentlemen. Is what he did. What does that tell you about Alex Golesh and this staff at the last minute being able to close that recruitment, being able to get a top talented guy? Because a lot of people have been on his case saying, oh, you've only been getting 3-star guys. Oh, you've been getting these guys that are not highly rated. But he has gotten this guy at the last minute. It was reported that it came back and forth between Georgia and Alabama at the last minute. So what do you have to say about that, about what you saw from this staff and Golesh and Durkin and those guys? What does that tell you about this staff and moving forward about what Golesh can do?
I think it speaks a lot to Durkin and Brad Wilson's ability to close this one out. Like Golesh, he's involved, but he's obviously taking a more CEO approach. But like Brad Wilson's very hands-on with linebacker recruiting. So I think it says a lot about those guys, and I think it says a lot about Auburn's willingness to pay up and match this money from these other big schools. Georgia has consistently poached from the state of Alabama, right?
True.
And they have dominated the linebacker market largely. And don't sleep on Florida. Florida was also very involved in this one. And Jon Sumrall's a linebacker guy. So
yes, sir.
That's a lot of big money schools, especially Florida, that you maybe you outbid, maybe you just matched it, but the family atmosphere at Auburn, I think, won it out. And Brad Wilson and Durkin did a great job.
DC, your thoughts on this, man? DC, how do you feel about at the last minute Durkin, Wilson, Golesh had something to do with it to an effect, because of course he's the head guy, being able to close this particular one out at the last minute? What does this tell you about what potentially it can look like in the future for Auburn?
Man, it tells me that DJ Durkin is still chugging along. He's going to do what he does, man. You know, we talked about archetypes on Sunday's show, man. Have you heard? And he's going to get, now he's going against 6'2", 210, 215 guys. And Xavier Atkins is the prototype, man. He's a little shorter, but the size, speed, side to side speed that they have, man, he's going against these guys. So it's DJ Durkin has showed proof of concept, man. And I think it's a lot on what you're selling. If you can say Xavier Atkins, look at him, All-America, man, NFL bound. This is you next. So that's his type, man. So I think the thing is what DJ Durkin is putting on the field, man. That for a linebacker, if I was that person, it would make it easier for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us around the water cooler, it is from It's SEC Season. It is our guy, Auburn Tez. Tez, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
What's happening, man?
Chilling, man. Tez, Alex Golesh is cooking on the recruiting trail, man. He cooking it up. Whip it up. Whip it. Whip it. Whip it. Whip it. I can't keep saying it because I might get copyrighted. I can't keep saying that. But, man, what is your thoughts on what you saw from Alex Golesh and what has happened in the past, literally the past 3, 4, 5 days in the recruiting trail, and how is it changing your perspective on what you're seeing from Alex Golesh in this trail? I guess the question I'm asking is, has Alex Golesh made you a believer?
Yeah, he made me a believer, but more importantly, he made these recruits believers, man. So I think that's what it tells me is the messaging that he's not lying. Like what he tells us, how he comes across to us, the process driven spiel that he gives and everything that he says about the program and what he wants for the program. Kids are buying that, right? Kids are like this feels different. I did hear the tail end of DC saying, hey, DJ Durkin has proof of concept. That's true. Linebackers coach. He's got Xavier Atkins to point to. But now it's a little bit different because now the head coach is in alignment, I feel like, with what DJ Durkin was already putting to the table on the defensive side of the football. So now the entire message is the same. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like, man, these guys are lockstep in balance, and the messaging that they are giving to these recruits is coming through authentic. They're doing evaluating paying for players that they need to pay for, not paying for players that they don't need to pay for. It just speaks to, you know, I think Golesh was a recruiting director at one point. Like it feels like this is being ran by a GM rather than a football coach. You know what I mean? It's real specific. It's real. I remember Bubba saying like, "Hey, if Isaac McNeil falls, then he'll get excited." I think he said that 2 episodes ago. We was on here, and so like that, you know, that domino fell. Somebody mentioned Carlos May in the chat. I'm waiting for that one to fall too. See how that goes. Like, I don't think there's one of the things. I guess I'll wrap it up. But one of the things I think that this gives me confidence. I don't think there's a kid that we cannot get. Like, I think that if we make a pitch at a kid, we have just as good a chance as any other school to pull in that kid to the Plains if we really wanted to.
I like it. Robert Smith said in the chat, man, same old storyline. Better start winning games to keep some of these star players. I think DC alluded to it earlier, basically saying that you still have to have that proof of concept on the field. I think DC and Bubba said this earlier, having that proof of concept on the field. How important is that on a scale of 1 to 10? I know you mentioned it, but how important is it for Golesh to come out this year and be able to potentially put up 7, 8, 9 wins in order for this recruiting momentum to keep going? DC.
It's 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. You 10 out of 10. Okay. DC, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, man. To keep it going, to keep the recruiting going, man, it's imperative. DJ Durkin has already put it on the field, so the defense is going to do what the defense do. I think they still recruit well, but as far as a team offense and just a team recruiting, I think, man, the offense got to put something on the field, bro. We've been in a drought, in a desert for years. So now, man, if he just come in and give a little bit, like you say, 7 or 8 games will be like this vast improvement over what's been happening in the past, bro. 7 games will look like, bro, we will look like national elites if this dude win 8 games. And that's sad to say, but for Auburn, everybody will just be ecstatic if we just win 8 games, man. So if he gets 7 or 8, I think the recruiting just keeps taking off, man. And again, shout out to him, bro, because I'm shocked that he's able to just do what he's doing. But I will say, man, Yellowwood did say he's gonna have every opportunity to win. So when the big man say you're gonna have every opportunity to win, he not just talking. I'm just reading in. He going, if I'm saying that, bro, I'm putting in on it. You feel what I'm saying? So
Auburn Express said he think Auburn ends up with Tay Walton Jr., Reed Ramsire, Ryan Jackson, James Pace, and Marquise Evans as well, man.
There's a lot of Ryan Jackson smoke.
It is a lot of Ryan Jackson smoke. And then he comes back and said, man, he likes May to Auburn as of right now, talking about
I don't
Carlos
think that
May.
one gets locked up till October.
Well, Carlos May from the Birmingham area is who he's speaking of. So we'll see what happens there. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we'll be right back right after these messages. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of SEC coaches, the new guys on the block. And we want to ask the question, who wins and who ultimately fails? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back right after this. Let's go.
Breaking news. Every Sunday night, DC Wolf brings you the biggest stories, hottest takes, and everything you missed across Auburn athletics, from football to basketball and beyond. If it's happening on the Plains, you will hear it here first. Live Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, only on Auburn Addicts TV. Hey, you listening? If you're trying to eat like a champ today, you already know where you gotta go. Adelines by Chef Country. Smoked ribs, real flavor, no shortcuts. Yeah, they do it right. Tap in right now. Call them at 334-498-2325 or slide through at 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama. Adelines, your official pregame meal.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to all the people that ride with us here around the water cooler. DC, tell them what's going on around at Auburn Addicts TV.
Hey, we naming wrestlers, man. We naming coaches wrestlers, man. You didn't see it, man, go check out the show, man. Check out the show from Sunday, man. We're going to be doing that when we do analysis for games, man. We're going to do it, and we're going to have the wrestlers from each school, man, represented by a wrestler coach. So y'all tune in, help us name these coach wrestlers, man, on Sunday. And then, of course, man, we bring in all Auburn update news, basketball, everything, man, football. So we probably gonna Sunday watch some film on these guys we talking about today, man. So tune in. We'll be talking Auburn.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Also, man, when you get ready to eat, when you get ready to get your pregame meal, and then after the game, you want to get your postgame meal, head on over to our guy, Chef Country at Adelines, man, for where they do it right, man. The ribs are good. The food is good. The cheeseburgers are good. The soul food is good. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out, 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama. And we will be there October 17, 2026 for the Auburn versus Georgia game. We will be going live from Adelines. So we want you all to be in the place there. More details about that will be coming soon. But go check out our guy, Chef Country, a.k.a. Kid Country, a.k.a. the Charleston White of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, at Adelines by Chef Country, man. 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama. The official pregame and postgame meal of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. We got a lot of new coaches that have come through in the SEC. 6 coaches at 6 new schools. One coach moved from one school to the other, and then all the rest of them are just new head coaches in positions here, man. We want to ask the question of who wins, who fails. Let's start off with our guy here at Auburn, Alex Golesh, man. 23-15 as a head coach. It was named ESPN top 30 guy as well. He had the number 1 offense at one point in time last season, but ended up with the number 2 offense at when the season was over with at USF, led by Byrum Brown, who was a 1,000 yard passer for that offense there. Ended the season with 9 wins as well. Could have won 10, but ended up taking the job at Auburn, then coaching the bowl game, but had the opportunity to come to Auburn. Came to Auburn and is now the head coach at Auburn. You move to Florida, you talk about Jon Sumrall. Jon Sumrall, 42-12 as a head coach, 4 conference title games, .79 win percentage. He's won the Sun Belt twice. And he just took Tulane team to the college football playoff this past season, where they went and played Oregon and ended up losing that game. But everywhere he's been, it seems as if he's had pretty good teams around him that he's fielded on the field. Then, of course, you look at a Ryan Silverfield. Ryan Silverfield came from Memphis, actually beat the team that he's now the current head coach of. 50-25 as a head coach, 6 straight bowl wins as well. He's also coaching the NFL as well, as I stated before. He is at Arkansas. Seems to be a lot of unknowns at Arkansas, but he did bring his quarterback over with him. But will his quarterback, A.J. Hill, start? We don't know. K.J. Jackson is there. So we're going to see what happens with that situation there. Then, of course, the kid from Oregon, who has been one of the prolific offensive coordinators in college football, is now getting his first shot as a head coach at Kentucky. Kentucky has done a lot in the offseason. They have brought in a lot of talent. They have, especially on the offensive line, you're talking about Colton Price, a guy from Baylor, who's now at Kentucky. You talk about a guy like Shabola. I can't remember his first name. Transfer from Ohio State. Is now at Kentucky. Kenny Minchie, who was the quarterback, who was the backup at Notre Dame, is now slated to be the starting quarterback there for Kentucky. And then, of course, they went and got Nick Anderson out the portal, who was at LSU last year, and expect him to be a very, 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 very integral part of that offense as well. Then, of course, everybody knows this guy, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is now at LSU. 105-52 as a record as a head coach, 55-19 at Ole Miss. Normally has some of the top transfer portal classes in college football. Everybody sees him as the quarterback whisperer. You talk about guys like Matt Corral. You talk about guys like Austin Simmons. Everybody talks about Trinidad Chambliss, who came from Ferris State last year and ended up as the number 1 quarterback on the roster after Austin Simmons' injury. So you look at him and everybody says, well, what will he do with LSU? You have Sam Levitt, who has a foot injury, who they keep telling us is ready to go. I just don't believe that. But he got a guy behind him who was a former 5-star in Hudson Longstreet. What can happen there? So looking to go into LSU and turn LSU around and get them back to national championship prominence. Then, of course, the guy that took over his spot at Ole Miss, Pete Golding. 2-0 as a head coach. Led Ole Miss in the college football playoff, beat Georgia, and beat Jon Sumrall in the college football playoffs. That Tulane team there as well ended up coming roughly about 15 to 18 seconds short of making it to a national championship game, but losing to Miami as well. But took that team on a nice run in the college football playoffs, led them as far as they possibly could go, and they showed that they was a formidable team. There now you have John David Baker there as the offensive coordinator, who was on staff with Lane Kiffin back in 2021 through 2023 at Ole Miss. So you shouldn't see much of a drop off on the offensive side of the ball. Trinidad Chambliss is back. Kejuan Lacey is back. Look at what they did on the defensive side of the ball. Eccles is back in the middle. Serterion Perkins is back on the edge. When it got Luke Farrelly, the guy that was at Cal, then he was at Clemson, now he's at Ole Miss. And then you went and got our guy, Jay Crawford, who is also at Ole Miss right now. Fellas, I want to ask y'all this question, man. You see these guys, you know the guys that are now in the conference. You see the new guys at new places and where it could be and what it could end up being. I just want to ask you the straight up question, man. Who wins? Who will be the winner when this is all said and done? When we look back at this in 3 years, which is what most coaches are getting now. 3 years. When we look back at this, which coach will be the biggest winner out of those 6 coaches at their new destinations? I'm starting with Tess.
Oh wow. So 3 years. That's kind of different. You threw me a wrench then. So in 3 years, who will have made the best decision? I'm gonna go with Auburn. I'm gonna go with Alex Golesh in Auburn. Followed closely by actually Pete Golden at Ole Miss.
Okay.
I just think, like those two coaches, for one, Golesh is bringing in, the staff that he's putting together is a staff that looks like it's there for the long haul. With the exception of maybe Vontrell King Willis is probably the first coach that's going to be getting phone calls at the end of the year, in terms of position coach, just because of what he's done with defensive lines. But other than that, I expect Cody Burns to be there for a while. I expect a lot of these guys just to be in the building for a while. And the momentum that he's putting forth now, it coupled with his proof of concept at USF, what he was able to do at USF, I think that he is a long-term coach. So in 3 years, I think, and plus the floor here is 5 games. So in 3 years, I think, he would probably be one of the biggest success stories. But outside of that, I like Pete Golden, man. Like, listen, he hasn't had a lot of, opportunities from a head coach standpoint for his own, but he's fielded a great defense at Ole Miss. I like the hires that they made, like you mentioned, bringing in John David Baker, which, I'm not going to say it's not going to be a drop-off because I don't know. He's not Lane, but you get the continuity of the system and what they want to do, coupled with the pieces that they already have. And I just think, like, out of all those new coaches, Ole Miss is probably the better team right now. Like, from a roster standpoint, I would take Ole Miss. Out of all those, they have the best quarterback. You could argue that maybe they have the best defense. If not the best, they're up there with Auburn and maybe I don't know. I'm not sure what LSU is going to do defensively, but yeah, I would take a long hard look at Ole Miss and what they're going to be within 3 years, because it's not a lot of pressure. The last guy was in there, brought the circus. So like you're in here with pretty much not too much pressure. People already have an assumption about Pete Golden as it is. So you know what I mean? Like, he can only mess this up or he can get better. So those are the two guys that I'm looking at in 3 years. Pete Golden and Alex Golesh.
Bubba, do you agree with that, or are you going in a different direction?
Yeah, I think Pete Golding set up the best for immediate success. I think he made really good hires. Patrick Toney's a really good defensive coordinator, and I'm a big John David Baker believer. He's been a big riser since he went to ECU, but I'll take it in a different direction. I'm a big Jon Sumrall fan, and one of the reasons I'm picking him to be the biggest winner is I think he assembled a absolutely superstar staff. Brad White, really, really good DC, like a B+ level DC. And it's a home run to get Buster Faulkner as your OC, one of the best play callers in the country. And you look down the staff like Joey Craddock, who was his OC at Tulane, noted quarterback developer. You look at he picked up Marcus Davis. Chris Foster is a really good running backs coach. Evan McKissack is a big, big name in the coaching community in terms of as a riser. He is going to be their tight ends coach. Phil Trotwin, really good offensive line coach. So I really think he got a great staff that really fits the system that he wants to run. And he's in a recruiting hotbed in Florida. And he's already known as a pretty solid recruiter. So I'll go him for the biggest winner.
DC, your thoughts on that? Then once you get finished with that, tell me who you believe fails.
Lane Kiffin is going to be the biggest winner, man.
What?
It's going to be the biggest one.
Okay. Why?
Yeah. Listen, man. Golesh, Sumrall, Stein, Silverfield. Everybody projecting and guessing. None of these coaches have done it on this level with a complete team. But Lane Kiffin, you talk about Pete Golden. You know, you ever seen people in a transfer truck? They can't get it started going down the road, right, Nick? They can't shift the gears or anything. But once they get it going, and I've seen people do this, once they get it going, they just hold the steering wheel and their co-passenger get in the seat and they just swap out and he just kind of take it down the road. That's Pete Golden, man. Lane Kiffin got the truck going. He shifted the gears, bro. Pete Golden just slid in the driver's seat and just kept it going, man. So I don't count Pete Golden. He could do well. I'm not saying he won't. But Lane Kiffin is the only coach who has proven success building a team in the SEC and doing it with great success, man. He brought Ole Miss out the ashes. Give this man $45 million in LSU and the Louisiana recruiting base by himself, and then he gonna be like the breakup guy. You feel what I'm saying? He gonna be the breakup guy, the breakup girl. When he go back to Ole Miss, he gonna be like, I'm gonna show y'all what y'all missing. I'm gonna show y'all what y'all missing, baby. I gotta show you what you missing. He gonna show Ole Miss what they missing. This dude is gonna show Pete Golden why he is what he is. He gonna probably try to destroy Pete Golden defense, just embarrass him. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going Lane Kiffin. No proven success by any of these coaches. Yeah, we know Alex Golesh was an offensive coordinator that had success. I'm saying as a total team. Everything else is just projection, hope, and maybe. Lane Kiffin has done it, bro. He evals well. You cannot fight against his eval in the portal. He's successful, man. So what make us think he just gonna get to LSU, bro, and then put on the brakes and just like not be successful in his evals with more money and more talent? So Lane Kiffin, that's easy, baby. Now the failure, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be Will Stein, man. Kentucky is just Kentucky. They just Kentucky, bro.
Whoa. It might be the biggest winner.
That's what I'm saying. It might be the biggest winner.
Bro. It's like you look at
games, he's the biggest winner.
Yeah, you look at all these, bro. It's just, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just like I remember me and Tez talked about certain programs, bro. They have ceilings. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about ceilings historically. Now they can get money in this day and age, but bro, historically, I'm gonna be honest, and there's no slight against Kentucky. But historically, bro, Kentucky just is what it is. They have a ceiling. When is the last time Kentucky won an SEC championship or been to a SEC championship? Please tell me. And it'll be the first. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not have anything to do with Will Stein, more so with the program having a ceiling. That's it.
Man,
see me on Sunday at 6, baby. Let's go.
I gotta push back on the Kentucky one because I see what Kentucky is doing. Kentucky has LLC, their athletic department. They have an influx of cash coming in, and you see exactly what happens when teams have the financial capacity to be able to go out and compete financially in this landscape of college football. Texas Tech, they can become a playoff contender easily. Tez, who is your biggest failure? Who will fail? Who will fail between these 6 guys?
Oh man, DC, you're not gonna like this, but Lane Kiffin. I think
Hey, man, y'all clip all this. Clip all this, man. Clip all this.
I think it's gonna be Lane Kiffin. I
all
think
this
he's gonna be the
talk.
biggest failure, man.
Kentucky gonna win a national championship. Talk. Clip it all, man.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm just a quick side on Kentucky, when you talk about transfer portal classes, while LSU has the number 1 transfer portal class in the SEC, shout out to Lane Kiffin, what he's always done. Kentucky is number 2, so they brought in talent in waves that they've never brought in before. Like they've never done that before, so it could be a different thing. But why do I think it's gonna be Lane Kiffin? Well, they fired the last coach with a winning record, plain and simple. And everything in Lane Kiffin's history says that this is going to be an ugly breakup. Has he had success? Yeah, he's had some success. He's had some games that look great, but ultimately he's still 14-28 versus top 25 teams. That is not good enough in LSU. You go out there and you lose 3 games in the season, you lose the wrong 3 games in the season, you won't be there in 3 years. And we know that when he decides to leave, it's going to be in blow-up fashion. He's a great play caller. He's also a bonehead play caller at times. Yeah, I just don't. The quarterback situation is kind of iffy. I don't know, if their starting quarterback is healthy. Longstreet doesn't have a lot of experience now. The system is very quarterback friendly, so I expect that. I actually expect that defense to be what they lean on. Hopefully, what they lean on this year, because I think they'll feel a pretty solid defense. But over time, man, it's like you are what you repeatedly do, and we've seen this Lane Kiffin movie time and time. Like at every stop, there's not a stop that he has been at that he's just gracefully bowed out, right? So I'm going with LSU as the biggest loser, because you fired Brian Kelly and hired Lane Kiffin. Talk about drama. Like, you know what I mean? Like you should have. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into what they should have done, but I just see this ending like Real Housewives of the SEC, and being a reality show at the end of the day. So that's how I feel.
I think I know what Bubba about to go with this one. I have a very, very strong feeling where I think Bubba's about to go with this one. Bubba, who fails?
It's going to have to be the chronic underachiever, Ryan Silverfield. Absolutely wrong.
I knew that's where he was going.
Nobody does. He rivals Hugh Freeze as far as doing less with more. This man almost got fired twice at one of the most wealthy G5 programs in Memphis. Almost got fired twice, right? Eight wins last year. Somehow found a way to get an SEC job. And as far as the Lane Kiffin thing goes, and I'll tie this into the Ryan Silverfield thing, I just think that there's different tiers in terms of what would be considered success. So Will Stein winning 8 games is far different from like Kiffin winning 8 games. So that's why, like, if we put out like a line as far as who would have the most wins over the next 3 years, I'd bet on LSU. I still think Lane Kiffin will be a failure. So I think that's why I'm going with Ryan Silverfield, because even though the standards are so low, no one will go lower than Ryan Silverfield.
Real quick, fellas, where does Alex Golesh fit into this? Give me a number, real quick. Bubba, where does Alex Golesh rank in these guys? Real quick.
I'd put him second.
Okay, Tess, real quick, where does Alex Golesh rank?
Same. I put him second.
DC, where does Alex Golesh rank?
Yeah, I'm on the boat. Second or third.
All right. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk about Auburn football's quarterback position. And can Byrum Brown be the guy that resurrects the position of Auburn's quarterback position? We're going to talk about it right after these messages, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
Sports fans, let me ask you something. How much time do you spend online every day? Whether you're streaming a big game, traveling to an away game, or simply browsing online, your privacy matters. Think about it. Every day we're checking scores, watching highlights, buying tickets, managing fantasy teams, shopping online, and connecting with friends and family. That's why I recommend NordVPN. NordVPN protects your connection with advanced encryption, helps block malware and online threats with next-gen antivirus, and keeps your personal information secure across all your devices, whether you're at home, traveling, or using public Wi-Fi. Right now, get 76% off plus 3 extra months with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit our link today and support Water Cooler Talk Sports while protecting what matters most. NordVPN, security, privacy, peace of mind. SEC football fans, this is your channel. Every Tuesday, it's time for SEC Season Live, the most interactive SEC football experience on the planet. Live chat voting, hot takes, weekly rankings, real debate, and you help drive the conversation live on air. Then, every Thursday, hit the reset button with Lunch Breaks, your lunch break destination for real SEC football talk. Reactions, storylines, and unfiltered opinions from across the conference. If it matters in the SEC, it matters here. Subscribe now to @SEC Season, and don't just watch the conversation, be a part of the show.
Everybody wants to look like a star when they step out, including you. That's why Hollywood Media got you covered. From clean portraits, corporate events, and even athletic events, they capture it all. These ain't just pictures. This is your moment. Follow now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood Media. Feel like the star you are. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to all the people that rock with us here, man. NordVPN, shout out to them for coming on and being a sponsor of the show, man. If you want to go and get 76% off plus 3 extra months to protect your privacy and peace of mind, hit that link right there on the screen. As a matter of fact, it is in the description of this show. Go down, hit that link, and you'll get that deal right there, man. Also, man, shout out to our guy DJ, man. Day one supporter of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood with an EY. And then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Feel like the star that you are with Hollywood Media, man. Shout out to our guy. That's my quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. Tez, tell them what they can find over on at SEC Season, my guy.
Yeah, man, come over to SEC Season on all platforms, man. Our Tuesday show at SEC Season Live, 6:30 p.m. East Central Standard Time, where we are in the middle of our Fans versus They series, where we're picking each and every game throughout the SEC 2026 SEC schedule. We're going to week 12 now, be next week. So we're rounding this thing out up, getting closer to rivalry week and crowning the champion. And then tomorrow, or every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we got lunch breaks. Our lunchtime SEC content show. Tomorrow's conversation is going to be about the NAACP's recent request for Black athletes. It was something that was requested on the last show, so we're going to dive into it, lunch break styles, look at the numbers and all different angles. Come over, subscribe, get in on the conversation, man. It should be a fun one.
All right, man. There it is, fellas, man. Let's talk about this Auburn quarterback position, man. We've been struggling in this position for some time now, man. I don't think we've had consistent quarterback play for years, man. I want y'all to take a look at this. Look at this list right here. These are all of the quarterbacks that have started at least one game at Auburn since 2019. Since 2019, Auburn has had 2, 4, 6, 8 starting quarterbacks, 8 quarterbacks to start at least one game since they've been in Auburn. Wow, that is amazing. You look at Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix probably has the most prolific numbers there on the list. And then, of course, you look at Peyton Thorne, who had prolific numbers there as well. But then you get into guys like Jackson Arnold, who a lot of people thought would be the savior this past season, especially with the talent that they had assembled there and the way that their defense played last year. You look at guys like Ashton Daniels, who came in, and when it looks like with competent play calling and the offense being what it is, was able to move forward and have an offense that looked competent on the field. You talk about guys like Robbie Ashford. You talk about guys like TJ Finley. You even talk about guys like Hank Brown, who is a fan favorite of DC Wolf, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And things and stuff like that. But the question is, this is the thing. It has been, we're going on 7 seasons since the 2019 season, and Auburn has had 8 guys to start at least one game in that time period at Auburn. No consistency at this position. But then you bring in a guy like Byrum Brown. You look at the stats here, man. A guy that was at USF last year, 3,000-yard guy, 1,000-yard rusher last year in this same offense with this same head coach and this same offensive coordinator. So I asked the question to you guys, man, is Byrum Brown the beginning of, I don't even want to say a resurrection, but potentially a beginning of what the quarterback position could look like at Auburn moving forward for potentially the next decade or two? Start with you on that one, DC.
Yeah, he could, man. If he could, man. If he comes in, man, and shows proof of concept, if he gets close to 3,000, 1,000, man, Auburn will have great success next year. So if you can show that, man, and then back that up, you have Teal behind him who they are high on. And then if you can go get a 27 quarterback, the number one quarterback, man. And if you can keep these guys in the system, we've had turnover. All of our quarterbacks have left the last 2 seasons, which is just crazy. So if you can have some success with him, yes, I think it is the beginning.
How you feel about that, Bubba?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, can't resurrect something that ain't ever really lived in the first place.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, probably. I mean, he's definitely the best prospect, proven prospect that we brought in. I think he's gonna have a really good year. Probably get drafted like day 3. So, like, yeah.
Day 3, that's not good.
That's really good.
For him.
A drafted quarterback.
But not for the program. I mean, in order to get elite guys at that position, that's the buzzword, elite, you got to be putting guys in the first 2 rounds, essentially first 3 rounds, in order to be able to get those guys that is considered to be highly rated, highly touted, highly talented guys. Would you not agree with that?
I mean, but I'd bet every dollar I have, all $7.12, that Golesh will never have a first-round quarterback at Auburn. The NFL just does not look at this system like that.
Okay. Tej, your thoughts on that? Could this be? Let's not use the word resurrect. Could this be the beginning of something to where we see competent quarterback play that can actually help Auburn win games and not hinder them?
No. No.
Okay.
Well, because it's just 1 year, right? And like, what puts that on track is the second year, the quarterback following them. Think about it. Cam Newton, did he put us on track for quarterback play? Like, no, we fell off after that. Nick Marshall came out, performed well. We didn't recruit another quarterback like Nick Marshall. Like, so. Like, I think it's the next guy. I'm looking at the Tristan Tiers. I'm looking at the guys, second and third string guys, as the guys to put us on the map for future quarterbacks. Because one, none of the guys that we're recruiting look like Byrum Brown. Like, we're not trying to get a lot of kids to do that. And Byrum Brown is a quarterback that Alex Golesh inherited when he got to USF. Like, so it's not like he just drafted this kid. So, no, I don't think Byrum Brown is like the savior for the quarterback position at Auburn. I think the development, if you can see a Tristan Tia step into the football game next year, or you know, if there's an injury or anything like that next year or the year after that, and he looks like he's ready for the spotlight, then that will be the signal to recruits like, okay, this staff is good at taking players from here to here, and then having them perform well and possibly get to the NFL. But yeah, I don't think a 1 year quarterback now, hey, if he somehow gets that medical red shirt and in his last year at Auburn, he throws for 4,000 yards and runs for another 1,000, then maybe. But just 1 year, I don't know. I don't see in 1 year it being able to happen like that, especially with none of the other quarterbacks looking like him and being the type of quarterback that he is.
So DC, the pressure's on Tristan Tia then.
No, that's what Ted says. I think
okay.
I think, man, in my humble opinion, man, I think if Brown has a 3,000, 1,000, and a 30 touchdown season, man, he might be he gonna be in the New York talk. So if you get a guy in the Heisman talk, man, that's huge. I'll just say it like this: if if Byrum Brown goes, say if he goes on day 3, like Bubba says, but he finishes number 2 in the Heisman race, bro, it's over. Because you can always point to that, man. The Heisman, we got a guy at the Heisman. He almost got the Heisman. If he's in the Heisman talk throughout the year, bro, the optics of that carries a lot of weight, and you might not have to get drafted high. If you can say, man, I can put you in the Heisman conversation every year, bro, that holds a lot of weight. So if he puts up those type of numbers, man, I think that's big.
Go ahead, Bubba.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, that's true. Like, if he's able to point to, hey, I did this with Hendon Hooker, I got Joe Milton on the right track,
Yeah, I get that.
and then I got Byrum Brown to New York. Like, yeah, none of those guys went on day 1,
Right.
but they were all drafted to the NFL. They got NFL money, right? So these guys that are mid 4 stars, you may never get a number 1 guy like we're trending for in the 27 class right now, but he showed, hey, I can take a guy with a specific skill set that maybe isn't a perfect skill set for my system, and I can make it work. So I think that cachet is going to really help with, maybe you don't get a top end 5-star, but he's shown he can do this with mid 3 stars, low 4 stars, mid 4 stars. So I think that'll be really big.
30 seconds says go.
Yeah, we've been here before. We have a Heisman winning quarterback who won a national championship, who went first in the draft. That didn't pay any dividends as far as getting quarterbacks. We also had a quarterback. We also had a coach who turned the defensive back into a quarterback and was in talks of making it to New York. That didn't pan out. I think nowadays these kids want to see development. And if you can show that you had a quarterback that is, you brought in from high school or early in the transfer portal, his transfer portal eligibility years, and he's progressively got better to when he's on the field, and then now he's actually producing at a high level. That is what probably pays more dividends to me. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but I know at Auburn we've been there before. We've had the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and we followed up with a guy. What I don't want to get around. I don't want to get into that, but you guys know what happened after that.
Yeah, Jeremy Johnson was a highly rated quarterback, though.
Yeah, he was a really good prospect.
Jeremy Johnson was highly rated,
He was.
but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So
yeah, but I'm saying that it wasn't
perfect.
like they couldn't get. You got to think Jeremy Johnson and who else was Kyle Frazier? Kyle Frazier pre-cam. Kyle Frazier was he pre-cam?
He was highly rated too.
He was highly rated too.
Tyler Queen was a 4-star.
Yeah, those were highly rated guys. For whatever reason, it just didn't work out, and they came on the heels of Cam Newton.
That's what I'm saying.
So
imagine if Jeremy Johnson had a panned out.
Sure.
Oh, it would have been huge.
Still to be determined, fellas. Still to be determined.
That's why I'm looking at Tristan Tia, because you're the one that has to pan out for this to continue.
Still to be determined, fellas. We're gonna be right back right after this. We're gonna talk about Big Ten versus SEC. We gotta get out of here.
Do you drink energy drinks and then a few hours later feel sluggish? Don't worry, I got the solution for you. Try DUBBY. DUBBY is a jitterless energy drink mix designed for better focus, clean energy, and no sugar crashes later. Whether you are working, watching Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, or locked in on game day, DUBBY helps keep you going. Visit the link on your screen right now and take advantage of the discount and level up your energy with DUBBY. You want a solution to protect your family in a moment of crisis. Freddie Metro provides those solutions to protect your family and build real wealth. Serving Alabama and Georgia with trusted advice you can count on. Call him today at 678-870-4001. Freddie Metro, protecting families, building legacies.
Yo, shout out to DUBBY, man, for being a sponsor of this show, man. Hit the link right there at the bottom of the screen if you want a no sugar, no crash energy drink mix that won't give you a crash later, that won't have your brain fog, that will keep you focused, keep you clean energy. Hit the link on the screen right there, or you can go into the description and hit the link at DUBBY. Once you hit the link, You go in, get what you want in the store. Once you get to the checkout, you'll get a 10% discount from using that link, man. So shout out to Dubby for rocking with us there. Also, man, shout out to our guy, Freddie Metro, man. You want to get your affairs in order before the inevitable or a disaster happens, man. He has those solutions to help you out, man. You can give him a call, 678-870-4001, or you can email him at freddiemetro@gmail.com. Freddie Metro, protect the families, building legacies. Fellas, man, let's talk about this Big Ten SEC debate. Before we get out of here, man, we'll talk about a bigger college football story before we get out of here, man. I want to ask y'all this question, man. The SEC has not played for a title in the past 3 seasons, 23, 24, 25. The last team the last SEC team to win a SEC championship or even play for a national championship was Georgia when they went back to back. But since then, no SEC team has played for a national championship. Not won one or played for a national championship in that time period. When you look at this, and you know the numbers there. If the Big Ten were to win another national championship this season, what would this do to the SEC moving forward? Will the power shift ultimately and permanently move towards the Big Ten, in your opinion, Tess?
That's a good question. Now, I don't think so. The reason I say that is because you got the way that the playoffs set up now. It's much tougher to win. National championships. Last 2 seasons with the 12-team playoff. But when you look at the playoff scenarios in terms of the teams that are getting in, the SEC has dominated the field in both years. So that tells me that top to bottom, specifically in the middle of the conference, mid to upper of the conference, that the SEC is looked at as a better conference than the Big Ten per rankings throughout the season. So I would still say that the dynamic of power would lay within the SEC. Just because it's looked at that way. But now, when if what you're saying is this leads to you seeing 5 Big Ten teams in the playoffs and only 1 or 2 SEC teams in the playoffs, then yes. But until that happens, I think that the SEC will always, until they change that, the SEC will always be in the position of power when it comes to college football.
Do you agree with that, Bubba?
I think so. Broad scale,
Okay.
I think that what is clear at this point is the SEC and the Big Ten have transcended and they're above the rest of the field.
Right.
So 3 consecutive obviously is a trend, but I refuse to say anything in modern college football is permanent. So I think it could change at any given moment. You could have one great LSU team or one great Texas team or Alabama or Georgia team that comes up and then they change it.
Yeah.
So I think that it's clear that the Big Ten and the SEC are the dominant conferences. And I think the SEC is deeper, but I think the Big Ten's got it right now.
DC, if the Big Ten were to win another national championship, would you say that at that point in time the SEC has slipped some?
I would say, as far as overall winning, yes. If they win another title, man, it'll be hard to sit and argue that at the top of the conference, the Big Ten isn't better. I would say, going back to what the guys just said, I agree with them. As a conference, I think the SEC is more competitive as a whole. But it was proven at the top of the conference, the Big Ten is better at the top of the conference because they're winning the tournament. You're getting more SEC teams in the tournament, so that shows you as a body the SEC is better. But when it gets down to who's at the elite top of the conference, maybe the top 2 or 3 teams, then the Big Ten has proven that they're better right now. So if they win this year, it'll be hard to argue, man. I can't say as a conference. You feel what I'm saying? That's just hard to say as a total conference. But that's what's going on now. People just coming with that narrative like, yeah, the Big Ten is taking over. They really have. They are truly top heavy. For real.
Top
They
heavy.
are for real top heavy. But I think what's proven is their top team is better than the SEC top team. It really is. It's proven out. They went in the tournament. So
yeah, I think it's fair to say that the last 3 years, Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana, as a whole, purely as a team, those are like three top 15 teams ever, and that's crazy to say considering Ohio State was a 2-loss team. But that collection of talent, that's a top 15 group.
That's what it is, man.
I think it's the Indiana one that raises the questions in it. Like, if it had been Ohio State last year and you had asked the same question, then you would be able to clearly say that, okay, Big Ten is top heavy. You got Michigan, Ohio State at the top of this thing. But then when you get an Indiana who was the losingest team in college football, to come from the depths of the abyss and win a national championship in the fashion that they did, like, it's got to help your conference out. You know what I mean? Like, that's an additional team that at the top of your conference that you didn't even account for. This was probably a team that you forgot was in your conference. Like, and they came up and won a national championship. It would be the equivalent of Kentucky winning a natty this year. Like, how would people look at the SEC then? You know what I mean?
That quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got Indiana did win 10+ games the year before. It wasn't
and they made it.
They made the playoff. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So scratch Kentucky and put Vanderbilt in there.
Okay.
Vanderbilt goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, then it would have been like, okay, well, what is the SEC now?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
fellas, this was a great conversation, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. Before we get out of here, man, Kid Country said, man, please keep me and my family in your prayers. He lost his uncle this afternoon, who was like a father to him, and his first cousin is facing execution next Thursday. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, please send up a prayer for our guy, Kid Country, aka Chef Country, man. We praying for him, we thinking about him, man, and we appreciate y'all so much for doing that for us, man, as always. Fellas, man, this is a great conversation. We thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us. Shout out to everybody for watching tonight, man. We thank y'all so much. We will be back Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back around the water cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank y'all so much for DC and Auburn Addicts, for Bubba and Bubba and the Old Man Auburn Sports Talk, for I got Tez and his SEC season. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nick Frazier. This has been Around the Cooler on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. As always, you all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all give the man upstairs above his, because he deserves all the praise and all of the glory. Yes, he does. Ladies and gentlemen, as Martin did, he wrote those 2 words on the wall when he walked out of the apartment for the last time. He wrote, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out this mug. We will see you. We will see you when we see you. And when we see you, will be Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, around the water cooler. Y'all be easy. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay super fly, in the words of Huggy Beard.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.